Hey everyone, C7B here, and today we are going to build together the 1144 high-grade Gundam Astaroth and Gundam Astaroth Origin from the Iron Blood Oven Gecko manga series. And this is going to be a comparison video from the get-go because I'm going to do a side-by-side build throughout. Let's see the boxes. The Astaroth is predominantly white with blue thrown into the mix, while the Astaroth Origin is mostly red. And these are the action explanations on the side of the boxes. As for the pricing, the white Astaroth that was released earlier is priced 1000 yen and the red Astaroth is 1400 yen. Okay, for the side-by-side build, I am going to divide my workspace into two. The port side is the red Astaroth Origin and the starboard side is the white Astaroth. Before doing this build, I thought these two will just going to be another color swap kits with few extra parts in the newer kit. But judging from these runner, they are very different one from another. The only thing that have a similarity on these two kits is the inner frame. But since every Gundam frame in the IBO line is practically the same, that's not really a factor to be considered at all. At the beginning I was skeptical that this is going to be another boring build, but just from looking at the runners lineup here, I think this is going to be an interesting build, especially when you can compare each step of the way. That's a considerably larger sticker sheet for the Astaroth Origin. As for the manuals, I'm going to do a slideshow of the pages. I can't have it like the way I usually did. It won't fit in the frame. The red Astaroth manual is 2 pages longer than the white, so there will be two slides that only show the red manual, like so. And the colored parts of the manuals. Now, as usual, the speed build of the HG kits in the IBO line always started from the torso, and just like I suspected, the inner frame is the same, but the armor is different. Not just a bit different, but different altogether. Well, in the story, the white Astaroth is owned by a family that inherited the mobile suit, but have to sell all of the armors and equipment because of a financial difficulty, so they use armors from other mobile suits to complete the Astaroth again. The left hand is taken completely out of a spinner Rodi with sub-arm that is a modified side skirt of a Yakuren, while the other armors including the heads are replicas of the original Astaroth. So we got an asymmetrical mobile suit here, and that's the main reason why I bought the kit in the first place, because it's asymmetrical. And for the very symmetrical red Astaroth, I've got it on a cheaper price in an auction, so I think, why not make the same recolored kit and throw away the unique asymmetry factor? Oh boy, I've never been so wrong in my life. Meanwhile, most of the armor parts and weapons of the Astaroth Origin eventually landed on an armorless Gundam voile. As you can see here, the feet and torso is the exact same, and some parts goes to another mobile suit, like the shoulder shields / wings here, used by Teiwa's Callisto. There's something a bit odd about the naming of the Astaroths. In the story, the red one is supposed to be named Gundam Astaroth, period, while the white that came out later on the timeline is supposed to be Astaroth something. But because the white Astaroth model kit was released earlier than the red Astaroth, and Bandai inadvertently named the white one just Astaroth, so when the red one came out, they have to name it with something that predates the Astaroth, hence Astaroth Origin. Makes sense. Well, Bandai is going to release another Astaroth, and it will be Astaroth something, Astaroth Rinascimento to be exact, and the design of it is exactly the mix of these two, I think. I will snatch one up when the kit is released. I believe it's going to be in July 2017. And then we will be comparing the three and see what's new and what's changed. Now, as I was doing the build, it's obvious that These two don't share any armor at all. While the feel is the same and at one glance they look very similar, but I can surely tell you that they are two different mobile suits. The Astaroth vibe is there, but somehow they designed two complete different sets that look similar, but when you put everything together they are definitely different. And as you already aware, all the weapons of the Astaroth, well, all of the IBO kits to be exact, are mostly exaggerated, and these Astaroths are no exception. While the red Astaroth have this assortment of weaponry like the shotgun and the big sledgehammer that doubles as a scabbard for the red sword, the white Astaroth have an exaggerated huge sword, ironically called a knife, a demolition knife to be exact, and it also came with a smaller appropriately sized knife and rifle. But there's one weapon that is missing. The wiki said the white Astaroth should have a 210mm anti-material rifle, but the set doesn't have it. It's on the iron maybe. And there it is, the red and white Astaroth built in the same time. Now if you put the two side by side like this, is where you can really compare them. Let me talk about the weapon first. This is how the weapons for the red Astaroth origin looks when they are put together into one. There are actually three weapons here. There's a big grey melee sledgehammer. There's also the housing for the nano alamite red sword. You can see the hilt there that is actually held by the Astaroth origin. And the shotgun is there too. The extra red piece there in the middle, that's the part that's holding everything together. While the white Astaroth demolition blade, when it's fully open, is even crazier. It's almost twice as long as the height of the mobile suit itself. There is a compact mode when you fold the blade in half and swing the handle in, and you can store it on the back, but the compact mode is still huge. And I've panel-lined those two kits. It might be a bit faint on the red Astaroth. It's because I was using the brown panel line marker. If you look at it in real life, the brown just right for the lines and creases of a red model kit. Or I guess the lighting just not right. The auto brightness of the camera kicks in every time I had the red Astaroth in the frame. Probably on the next video I'll try to find the best setting. Now as you can see, you can store the shotgun to the side of the left side skirt there with the help of the same red part that I mentioned earlier. And this is the white Astaroth with the standard rifle in the right hand and the demolition blade in compact mode mounted on the back. Still huge, right? The demolition blade. Panel lining the white Astaroth is pretty straightforward as it is the standard Gundam color, mostly white with a splash of blue and red and occasionally yellow. I used two panel line markers, the black for darker parts and gray for white part panels. Maybe one thing I don't like about this kit are these clunky oversized feet. They are too big for my taste. Looks like clown shoes for me. This is the red Astaroth's flight mode. The shoulder shield and the nose cone like backpack there can somehow be positioned like that, and the light purple wings can be extended. I like this look. Oh, I forgot to mention the stickers. I only used some of them here. The eyes, the V symbol there on the chest and wings. The unused stickers are just big wrapping parts kind of sticker that will never last anyway, so I purposely left them out. There are also some stickers I didn't use for the white Astaroth for the same reason as before. Now about this left subarm. There are three movable fingers there. The thumb have a ball joint connecting it to the subarm and swivel joints in the other two fingers, but no knuckle joints, too bad. And don't forget about the small blade there in the right hand. Now this is how the two Astaroths look with back against each other. They do look good together, don't they? Now you can see here the feet of the red Astaroth, even though they are also big but not as ugly as the brother. Oh, and the black there in the front of the white Astaroth shoes, yeah, they are stickers. Somehow I feel the designer of the white Astaroth designed the MS from the top and then got to the feet and got a call from his wife because there's an emergency. So we got this ugly looking feet. The red Astaroth got this special right holding hand that is bent in a way that is special for holding a shotgun like that. It kinda droops a bit because of the joints in the shoulder and elbow that is a bit weak, but it's a cool pose. And how about the pose of the white Astaroth here, wielding the massive demolition blade? A sword that gigantic surely can make any enemy tremble in fear. Just look at the length of that sword. One of the main reasons I like the Iron-Blooded Orphan storyline is that they use mainly and mostly artillery and melee weapons. There are almost no beam weapons around, except when the mobile armor showed up. Yeah, that kinda ruined the joy of the story a bit. Speaking of the story, there are rumors about a standalone OVA of the Iron-Blooded Orphans. Is it going to be an anime version of this Gecko side story, or a prequel, or even a continuation of a main storyline like the Double O OVA? As of May 2017, it is just still a rumor. Now let's compare it to the main Gundam in the story, the original Gundam Barbatos. This is the clear armor version of the Barbatos. I must say, somehow the Barbatos looks a bit less menacing when it's put together with the Astaroths. The overall look of the armor and the weapons of the Astaroth just edgier. I know the Barbatos and Red Astaroth have a similar sword, but the Red Astaroth sword have a special extra connection point with the hilt, and then that adds a cool factor to it. Personally, I like the Barbatos Lupus more than this first look of the Barbatos in the anime. And if I had it built, I would compare this Astaroth to the Lupus. Next comparison to the other mobile suit in the line, here's the Gundam Vidar. Now compared to the Vidar, the Astaroths made their match in the menacing factor. Oh, sorry for the Orga stand base there, I already used the Galileo stand base for the Chimaris Trooper. This gunslinger look on the Vidar here, doesn't it look awesome? Gundam Vidar I think is the best design in the series. This version, not the Chimaris Vidar, I hate that one. The Vidar just beat the Red Astaroth for the best design award for the series in my opinion, with the Barbatos Lupus came close in the third place. And what about the White Astaroth, you say? Well, looking at these clown shoes is a bit turned off for me. So sorry White Astaroth, no award for you. But I still consider you as one of the better design in the series. I'm looking at you very closely, Hugo. You suck! And now this frame. I like it a lot. The three of them look very cool together. Finally, as a conclusion, these two high-grade designs, I'm kinda surprised how they turned out in the end. At first I was hooked by the White Astaroth, but in the end of the day I like the Red Astaroth better. So I will going to give the White Astaroth a 6 out of 10 and the Red Astaroth a 7 out of 10 because of the overall design and the equipments. I guess that's all for now, and I'll see you guys soon.